Welcome to the Between Brothers podcast. We have the Chancellor and the return of the Mac. King Shawn. Dance!
You ain't gonna get that out of me.
Oh, King Shawn is back for another one, man. Actually, King Shawn gonna be back for at least a couple weeks at least. But King Shawn, glad to have you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all boys having me, bro. Feel like home.
Hey, let's get it. How have you been? Because we haven't spoken to you since the preseason. I was supposed to have you on earlier this year, and I got sick, so that's on me. I felt bad because I was like, I literally I told the story already, but on whatever episode it was, I think last week's episode. But I literally got up that day and I was with my wife and she was like, "You're hot," and I'm like, "No, I'm not hot. Like I'm feel fine." And she's like, "No, like you're uncomfortable." Like she was like, because she was like, "Oh, you're normally warm." She was like, "No, you're like uncomfortably hot." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm sitting there like, "Man, I'm good, man, I'm good." I checked my temperature, man. That joint was like 102, 101.8, 102, somewhere around there. And bro, it was literally I felt everything after that. It's like as soon as I knew I was sick, I felt sick. And everything shut down. I was sick, and I ended up having flu and pneumonia. But like I said, so I didn't want you to think I left you hanging, but niggas is actually out back for a little bit. But King Shawn, how have you been? You're a Ravens fan. The season, was great until it wasn't. So let us know, man. How you been, dude? How you been?
Man, personal life been all right, man. I ain't got no complaints in the personal life. Football, that's where I was stressed out all year, brother. All year. Not really in the sense of we weren't doing good. It's just I knew we wasn't playing up to our potential early in the season. Like our defense wasn't defensive. And basically I felt like this year was gonna be different for us just for the simple fact, I felt like even with our defense ranked as low as our defense was, Lamar was still pulling us through these games. I was like, okay, we're winning because of Lamar, then we're gonna be fine. But at the same time, I seen that we were having struggles on our defense. Justin Tucker was missing kicks. And I was up and down during the season. I ain't gonna lie to you. When it came to the playoffs, though, I'm telling you, I was no more confident than anybody else that's probably else in the playoffs too. All right, I swore up and down this was gonna be our year. I didn't say it. I was to myself, but I really didn't start popping my shit until the week of the Bills.
the worst week.
Honestly, I didn't even think it'd be the worst week just for the simple fact, every team in the playoffs this year, we played this year and we beat them other than Kansas City. And that was the first game of the year. Yeah. So, and the last time we played the Bills, we also blew them out 35-10.
Yeah, so dominated.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? As long as we continue to run the ball like we did last time, we will win this game. If we run the ball like we did against Pittsburgh the week before, we will win this game. I don't see nobody stopping us. And we were our own worst enemy, man. The turnovers came at the worst time. But I was just, I've been having a bad last 2 weeks, man. Other than that, I've been all right.
Yeah. I want to ask you this, the Mark Andrews thing. Because I saw a guy and I was like, all right, you have to be a hater. Because he said, Mark Andrews dropping the ball was on Lamar.
Oh, you talking about Phil Simms? I seen that.
No, it was a black dude.
A black guy? Okay. Yeah, I
don't know. Yeah, because I didn't see Phil Simms, but it was on a black dude. It was a black dude saying it. But he was on a pretty reputable podcast. So I think he has some kind of reputable football opinion. He was like, it was a bad ball. But there was, so I was like, I thought it hit him in his hands, and he could have hugged it.
Yeah.
So I watched the replay. I'm like, no, you can't get a better ball than that. And apparently, and I saw this other video where they showed that the Ravens run that 2-point conversion 3 times this season, including that time. And Mark Andrews dropped the ball each time.
Yep, did not work.
So, and it's all there was all because he dropped. It wasn't like somebody made a great defensive play.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
It was all because so I don't know what's happening in that sequence with Mark Andrews where he just can't bring these balls in, because like I said, they're all one pass. I think it was the second one I saw. It was like Mark would have had to reach for it, but it was a catchable ball. Like it was 3 drops, and it was literally the same play design, getting him wide open, the surest hands on the team. So you would think like, and when people say it's a bad ball, I'm like, I don't know. This is just clear Lamar hate. Now, I think Lamar had 2 turnovers personally.
Yes.
And Zero told me that they had scored 10 points off those turnovers.
They scored 3 points off of Lamar's 2 turnovers. They scored 10 points off of all.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. So I don't know why people are trying to make it seem like Lamar was such a big deal if they only scored 3 points off of his 2 turnovers and 7 points off of Mark Andrews' turnover. How much do you blame Mark Andrews for the loss?
I blame Mark Andrews. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the cliche answer is, before I answer that question, like every play is a good play if it's executed right. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bad play if it's not executed right. Like you said too, we ran that play 3 times before, and whether it be Mark Andrews dropping that ball or not, like it has not worked. And I personally, do not like that play, because I feel like you shrink the field when you run that play. You're really rolling out to one side of the field, and the whole rest of the field is it's dead.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're shrinking the field. So I personally don't like that play. For 2, you got fucking a 1,900-yard running back and a 900-yard fucking rushing quarterback. Run the fucking ball. Like do some type of naked bootleg, some type of triple option, something. Like we have better plays that we can get 2-point conversion on that I feel like have a higher success rate, in my opinion. But how much do I blame Mark Andrews? I can't blame him no more than I blame Lamar, if I'm being real. Like, I just can't. And the reason why I say that is because Lamar is the quarterback of the team, Lamar is the leader of the team, and Lamar did have 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like I feel like we overcame Lamar's 2 turnovers, and I don't want to say the fumble got into Mark Andrews' head after he fumbled the ball, because he made like 2 plays after that, but I don't know, man. Like you got to catch that ball, bro. You got to.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, man. And like I said, he's been the surest hands that Lamar's gone to.
And the reason why what hurts me the most about that game is because like even if we scored the 2-point conversion and it's tied up, like I would rather the onus be on Josh Allen going down and scoring a touchdown in 1 minute and 33 seconds if we can score that. And if not, then that is what it is. Like I feel like Lamar was robbed of a chance to pretty much say like, oh, he won that game in my opinion, because I feel like nobody other than Ravens fans expected Lamar to go down there and deliver and give a touchdown.
Yeah,
I felt like
and
nobody.
Also, Josh Allen didn't play well.
In my opinion, he didn't play well either.
Yeah, no, he didn't play well.
I don't think he played well, but he played well enough to win the game. He held onto the ball. They had no turnover. So
yeah,
I give him that. But oh, that shit hurt, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit hurt, man. That shit hurt. And let me just say this too. I love Derrick Henry. He's been a great addition to this team. But I so wanted Saquon Barkley over Derrick Henry. And the only and a lot of people said to me like, oh, it's hindsight 2020, Saquon had injury problems and everything like that. And I'm like, and I get it. But Saquon Barkley is an every down back. When Derrick Henry comes off the field, everybody knows 9 times out of 10 we're probably going to pass the ball.
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes us predictable.
Yeah.
Very predictable.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I should break it down that way.
One
But
more thing too about that game. No doubt in my mind, if
uh,
Zay Flowers plays that game, we win that game.
I agree. Yeah, I didn't know he didn't play until I think Zero told me that he didn't play. Because I was like, I think because they were saying like Lamar needs more help, and I'm like, I just think that the I don't think he needs necessarily more weapons. I think the weapons are good enough to win a Super Bowl. But
I
then,
think they are too, but then like if you look at the if you look at the drop off of receiver, it's fucking
yeah,
crazy,
from Zay
bro.
Flowers to the number two guy, yeah. So I was like, but then when Zero was like, no, Zay didn't play. I was like, oh, like, well, yeah, that's a pretty, yeah, I get where people were coming from. Like I said, initially I didn't agree, but then because it's very rare that you have two great wide receivers and a great running back on the same team. So this I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, Zay probably isn't great yet, but he's tailing that way.
I think Zay
So
top 15 in the league. Top
I don't
15.
think I don't think I would disagree. So that's why I'm like, he's good enough. Like he's shown to be a legitimate number one. So like I don't know how much, and you have a great tight end or two fantastic tight ends. I mean, I don't know how much more, like I said, maybe another. But when you put it like when he said he didn't play, and I was like, oh okay, like yeah, that's at least at wide receiver that is a big drop off. But 0-0, how was your week?
Like out of nowhere, I started losing my voice.
Oh,
It's like one day me and Phoenix are singing in the yeah. It's like one day, um, me and Phoenix and me and Lando are singing on the phone. The next day, freaking it's like damn near every other sentence. It's a what's it called? My voice starts losing signal like a cell phone reception.
Wow.
It's like, what in the haberdasheries and hemoglobin is going on here? It's like I sound normal, and then all of a sudden, I sound like Doc Rivers. Like I can't do this. And even I'm trying my best not to cough right now. I can't even laugh today. If I start laughing, all of a sudden, it's going to be Simpsons technical difficulties.
I just had to mute so I could cough. I was laughing.
That's
Shoot,
funny.
yeah, but tied to that, of course, Jelly Balls, Jelly Balls still got to go to. Well, we had to take her appointment. She got to go once a month now to check her levels. 'Cause everything is great, so keep pushing there. And what's it called? I told my wife and my kids, I was like, look, something's got to give because it seemed like I can't have anything. It's like I had like six large cups that I could drink out of. I had to buy a new one because they taken over all of those. I can't find socks because they want to take my socks. It's like I have nothing anymore. I own nothing. I go to pop popcorn. Somehow they went from being asleep to standing in front of the kitchen when I turn around.
They hear that microwave.
It's like, yo, it's like I gotta find out how to put that microwave on salad. It's like, yo,
That's how.
I would love to eat this freaking popcorn without y'all like dark winged duck ass niggas. It's like the terror that flaps in the night. It's like y'all just appear out of nowhere, like a jump scare. Like, let me eat, let me live. Like, but other than that, everything has been good. See, I'm about to lose signal now in my voice.
I I had a pretty good week. There was snow out here, so they closed the school for too long. But Coco Puff says she don't like snow because it's too cold. But I'm like, you don't have the right gloves. Like, and she's like, I don't like snow anymore because it's way too cold. I'm like, she's like, it hurts my hands. I'm like, yeah, because it's ice. It's supposed
to. Yo, that's funny. That's funny because we went to go play in the snow. I forgot about that. We went to go play in the snow, and Marshmallow, I gave Marshmallow gloves, and Marshmallow just kept taking them off, showing me hands. It's like, look, Daddy. I was like, why do you keep taking your gloves off?
Bro, it snowed up here 2 weeks ago, and it's crazy because like my son, like he was playing in the snow with my daughter, like they throw snowballs at each other. Like he played like bare hands. And my daughter's like, "Why do you have no gloves on?" And he's like, "I'm from Baltimore, girl. Like I'm used to this stuff."
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head like, "Yo, you right too?" Because I ain't even got no damn jacket on.
Yeah, it was when it was
outside
snowing.
Shoveling snow.
Yeah, it was. And it was. I think it was like 27 degrees, and the Duchess asked me to do something, and I left the house with my pajama shorts on and a t-shirt. And she's like, "Did you go outside like that?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "It wasn't cold." I'm like, "It was, but it's like mind over matter kind of."
Yeah.
Like it's like I already told myself it was cold outside, so it wasn't that bad. I was like, also there was no wind. I was like, because that wind hit, that's a different story. But I was all right. But then today I'm on the phone with Zero, and I go to the grocery store because I'm mad at my son. Well, actually, I didn't go to the store because I was mad at my son. But I ain't gonna put his business out there. But he pissed me off in a funny way. But I go to the store because I was cooking. I made some bourbon chicken for dinner, but I needed soy sauce. So go to the store. One of them Mormons pull up, and he's like, "Yo, let's you want to go to my church?" So I'm like, I was like, what's the church? And he's like, "Oh, the Church of the Latter-day Saints." So I'm trying to think like what it is. I'm like, "Oh, is it the Mormon?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Who?" I was like, "There's something about that church or whatever." And I'm like, "Who?" I said, "Who founded the church?" Because I had watched a documentary that the guy who founded the church was like, he was and actually there's a movie there's not a movie. There's a TV show that called American Primeval that also goes into this, where the founder of the Mormon church, Joseph Smith, is trying to obtain Utah. And they're killing Native Americans so they can get the Utah territory.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he also was for segregation and for slavery. But I found that out in the documentary. They didn't actually have any black people in the TV show I was watching. Like he always flip-flopped his stance on slavery and segregation and things of that nature. So I'm like, and so I was like, what's it? And so the dude says, "You mean Jesus?" No, Jesus didn't find your religion, dude. So I said, no, it wasn't Jesus. So Zero, when I say that, start chuckling. So I was like, he's like trying to and I was like, yeah, the guy was against was killing people, killing Native Americans, and he was like for slavery and stuff like that. He was like, "Where'd you get your information from? Google?" So now I'm pissed off, but I'm a Christian now. You know what I'm saying? I don't snap like I used to, so I'm like, but he insulted my intelligence. I didn't get it from Google, but I can Google it since we're here. So I just typed in church founder, and I was like, Joseph Smith. I was like, yeah, Joseph Smith Jr. And I said when he was active. So he tries to re-explain, oh no, that's Junior. Joseph Smith but you just told me Jesus founded your religion. Now you got all the info? See,
Yeah.
see, that's the stuff like on some real junk. If you would have caught me 2 years ago, I would have went off on something. If you would have caught me 10 years ago, I might have put hands on something. Because you just insulted my intelligence, and now you over here trying to act like you got all the answers, Sway. So now I'm gonna sway you from standing to laying down. Because you out here acting like I'm dumb. I'm not gonna say nothing I don't know. Like well, I shouldn't say that. I generally try to not. I'm not gonna argue with you about your religion. I didn't even argue the religion. I was talking about who founded the religion. And he gonna sit there talking to me, Jesus. Technically, Jesus never founded a religion. Technically. So I'm like, why would you say that?
No,
I
I'm
just
like,
found out.
look, I told you he wasn't saying Jesus because he was saying who founded the church. He was saying Jesus because he didn't expect to get that question asked to him. So he was saying the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah, I was
So
like, bro.
that's what it was. Cause he's like, who founded the church? Jesus.
I actually literally just found out yesterday that Mormons don't like to be called Mormons. They like to be called Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. So I
Latter
was
day
like,
Saints, Mormons, potato,
because they're trying
potato.
to rebrand it from the atrocities that they were doing back when they were starting stuff. Get the hell out of my face while I swing on you, dog. Like,
I'm saying it's like latter day mayonnaise. I don't give a damn what you got to say.
you know, yeah, nah, bro. Like, yo, if
Pause.
I swear, I was pissed. I wasn't like that angry, but it did piss me off because like he went from acting like he didn't know what I was talking about to now you got all the answers about what I was talking about. And then you was like, oh, where'd you get your information from? Google? Well, Google just told me exactly who your founder was. That was what I asked.
Yo,
And you
hey,
didn't
hey.
know 2 seconds ago. So it seems like Google's a good resource because you follow a religion, you don't even know who founded
Exactly.
the
It's
thing.
like Google gave me the answers and asked Jesus gonna tell me to beat your ass.
Oh man. So that was my day, my week. And also, I had a good time watching the games as well. I think the only game I lost so far these playoffs, betting wise, was the Baltimore game. Pissed me all the way off. And I had a parlay on it too. I bet them all separately, but I bet the parlay, and they were the only one that lost. I was devastated. And I picked not Lamar. I picked Josh Allen for MVP. I didn't want to win that game. You can win regular season MVP. I want the AFC title rematch. That's what I want.
Lamar
But
MVP, man.
yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit too. So let's get to these topics anyway. So let's start with the NFC Championship. It was a great game until it wasn't. Saquon, I think he busted for like a 60-plus yard, or it might have been exactly 60-yard touchdown to start 60. The game. And I don't know if he hurt his calf on the run or if it was already hurt, but he was like nursing the calf throughout the game. But he had a great game. There was a stat that said Jalen Hurts had never won a playoff game when he threw for over 155 yards. And so he's now won a playoff game throwing for over 155 yards. Marshawn Lattimore has an issue with a wide receiver no matter what division he plays in. Because I'm like, bro, you just got there. How you pissed off AJ already?
It's crazy. When they got Marshawn, I was pissed off that they got Marshawn because they got him for a third-round pick, and we offered them a second-round pick for him. But ever since I've seen him play, like since he's played, I think it was like 3 or 4 games for him, including the playoffs.
Yeah,
his looked like shit. Like
yeah, They never. He never. They say he never really recovered from the hamstring, so maybe he'll be good next year. But I don't know. He hasn't looked very good. I know that. But the Eagles' offensive line was dominant for the most part. Jaden Daniels played. I think he played a pretty good game. Those fumbles, they literally fumbled the ball 3 times and lost all of them. So it's like that's really what blew the game wide open. Especially I think it was the last fumble. I don't remember who committed the fumble, but I think it was Eckler. He caught the ball, and when he was getting up, apparently they coach that when a guy's getting up, just punch at the ball because he's usually not securing the ball. It's probably impossible or very extremely hard to secure the ball and try to get up off the ground at the same time. So they coach that or whatever, but I saw that I don't know how real it was. It could have been AI, but I saw a thing that said the Washington defensive coordinator said that they were going to treat Jalen Hurts like a running back because he doesn't throw the ball very often. So, and so, if that was true that he actually said that, to say that and then get beat by 32 is kind of embarrassing. So, Zero, I'll start with you. What was your overall take on the game, and what are some things that you noticed, and what do you think about the Eagles moving forward?
Saquon's the man.
That's
I saw this. I don't know if y'all agree with it, but I saw a post on Instagram. They were talking about the takeaways from the games, and they said Jaden Daniels Jaden Daniels' performance showed the lack of talent that the Commanders actually have around them. Because they were saying, well, besides McLaurin, like, they got the running back by committee. Not really sure about the offensive line.
I don't think it's
Outside of,
really running back by committee. I mean, Brian Robinson Jr. or is he a junior? I don't
he's
know.
a junior.
Brian Robinson does get a lion's share of the carries. Like Austin
Mm,
Eckler, I think he averaged 6 yards or 6 carries per game this season.
that
He's
nigga.
really in there for the third down stuff. So I think they've established him as a running back, and Jaden Daniels will probably be the third running back, or actually I think he's second on the team in yards, so he'd be their second running back. I don't think it's necessarily a committee thing though.
What's it called? For me, the Eagles just show they got too many weapons. It was like if Saquon ain't got it, AJ got it. If AJ ain't got it, Devontae Smith got it. If they don't got it, Dallas Goddard got it. It's like there's really it's like there I don't see
And a number
like
two defensive football.
yeah. I see them winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, we'll get to that a little later, but
But yeah,
whoa.
my takeaway is that the Eagles are, when they're clicking on all cylinders, you get what you saw on Sunday.
Mhm.
It's like what Saquon got 4 touchdowns. I think it was what 7? No,
Yeah, I
it
thought he
was
had three.
5
Was it
rushing.
four?
Yeah, I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns. I can't check right now. I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns. Shipley
They
had
scored
another.
55 points. They scored 55 points. I think four is probably safe to say.
Yeah, I think he had.
I know Jalen had two rushing and I think one throwing. So yeah, no, that might be right. No. Because the other guy, the white dude, got a touchdown. So he had
Yeah,
to have three.
Shipley scored at the end of the game.
That drill was so funny. He broke for like 60+ yard run or whatever, and you could. It looks like he's about to score, but then he started getting tired, and they started hogging him down.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend, his stepson is white, and that happened to him 3 times during their high school football season. And then I saw that happen to him, and I was like, maybe it's a white thing. They just I was like, he was broken. I was like, I think he just remembered that he Caucasian and he could outrun.
Yo, they showed him looking. Yo, they showed him looking up at the Titantron. He saw they were gonna catch up to him anyway, so he just covered the ball up and
Yo,
braced for impact.
you remember on open court when Reggie Miller, he said he knew he was old when he was like back in the day. No. It was
Kenny
Kenny
Smith.
Smith. He said, like back in the day when he was active, he would see the guys like kind of jog it back or whatever when he on a break. He said
He'd
when
take a
it went like
snapshot.
this to this, on the jumbotron. He saw niggas in this. And I was like, all right, just wrap it up.
He said, wrap up. If they gonna tackle me, let's hope that I break these tackles and make it into the end zone.
Yo, that joy, I was like, maybe that's just some. I mean, not saying brothers don't get ran down too, but it's so funny just knowing that with my friend's, son and during high school football, literally broke 40 plus, 50 plus yard runs and got tackled at the 1 or 2 yard line.
It's like, nigga, you can't dive.
Bruh. I'm like, that's tough. I mean, I don't know where because he probably could get tackled at like the 4 or 5 and his momentum carries him, forward or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's I was like, man, that bro saw those Negroes and was like, yeah, I ain't got a shot. Oh man, Kickshaw, how'd you like the game? What do you think of the Eagles? Even what do you think of the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, all that stuff?
I was rooting for Jaden Daniels, man. I was rooting for the Commanders. I like Jaden Daniels, bro. In my opinion, I think Jaden Daniels is probably a top 5 quarterback in the NFC.
Oh, I'm about to see. I'm glad I learned patience because I heard the NF was about to cut you all the way off.
And then that C right there.
Hell no.
Hell no. I ain't one of them.
No, I would agree with you on that though.
I think in the NFC top 5, like he's got to be top 5 in the NFC. Got to be. As far as the talent thing goes, I don't know about that. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like they have talent, but it may not just be like the prime time names that we're used to hearing. I think with another year that'll come, like the Noah Browns, like, I feel like Noah Brown's a
yeah, he
good
played
enough.
well.
Yeah, I think he's a good enough number 2 receiver. I feel like De'Ami Brown's a good enough number 3 receiver. I feel like Terry McLaurin's a good enough number 1. I just feel like they need another year in that system, especially with Cliff Kingsbury. And I feel like honestly that was what helped Jaden Daniels the most this year is Cliff Kingsbury because I was watching I've watched probably about 6 games with the Commanders this year, not including playoffs. And like when I watch like the offensive mind that Cliff Kingsbury has, this dude like in the play calling that he's playing with this man, like it's crazy. The only thing that I think they need to do is just is stick with the run just a little bit more, not have him run the ball so much. But I'm not saying that he needs to take significant less carries. Like use your legs, but be smart about it. But I don't think. I just feel like they were too young and too inexperienced to beat Philly. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like they could have scored with them, but at the end of the day, they were just too inexperienced. I feel like Philly, like you can beat Philly. I just feel like you have to sell out on the stopping the run of Saquon. Like that's just my opinion. Like I will live with Jalen Hurts throwing for 200, 300 yards on me if he can do that and beat me. That's just me. Like I'm not sitting here saying that he can't throw the ball, but if you look at it statistically, he's had a down year.
Very down.
Very down.
AJ Brown been showing it all year.
Exactly. So I'm living with that. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna disrespect him and treat him as a running back, but I don't fear Jalen Hurts' legs as much as I fear a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Jaden Daniels, and the list goes on. Like a Kyler Murray, I don't fear his legs as much as I fear them. Like if he's gonna carry the ball and get 3 yards, 4 yards of carry, I'll live with that. I'll live with that and make him pass the ball on 3rd down. That's what I'll do. But like I said, in my opinion, I don't want to get to my projection of the Super Bowl, but I'll just leave it there. Like it was a decent game. Like I think the Commanders are definitely going to be here to stay. Dallas might be looking at that 3rd spot in the NFC East for the next.
No, fourth.
Probably fourth.
I think the Giants are now the Giants got rid of Buns of Plenty Jones. I think I don't care who they get at quarterback.
They got to get rid of Brick Dayball too, man. I'm
You
sorry,
think
Dayball.
so, man?
Yeah, I do. I can't see him.
I think that was that's why I think that they I mean I don't think they'll be better than Washington this year. But that's why I don't think they'll be fourth. Because I think he's actually a good coach. But that's interesting.
I gotta see what Dallas do with this spending this money this year. If Dallas spends some money, I might have Dallas, like I said, at least number 3 in that division. If
Okay.
Dallas don't spend no money, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Dak had
Yeah.
another year off. Dak,
Yeah.
like last time Dak had a year off, he came back almost looking like MVP. So
True. You know, yeah, we'll definitely, come September, break all that down, the three of us. Um, so at least, just real quick, just one last thing on the game, from me. On the Washington Commanders side, personally, I think the loss of that offensive lineman, Cosme, I think his name was, hurt them more than people probably anticipated. And Deron Payne also not playing probably hurt them pretty well. As far as from what Zero said, them not having enough talent around them. Like what King Shawn said was actually brilliant in the fact that they're probably too inexperienced more so than they don't have enough talent. Now, first of all, or mainly, there ain't that many teams that have as much talent as Philly does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, to say that because of what they did against Philly, like they didn't just put up 45 on the Lions. That just I don't see how anybody could come to that conclusion. Terry McLaurin, it's funny, my friend Kyle, he was like, he didn't think that he's a Washington fan. And he said, Terry McLaurin is a top 20 wide receiver before the season started. And I was like, when you say top 20, do you think you're saying that he's under 15? Because football T-Mac is definitely top 15 wide receiver. And he's like, nah. So then I hit him one day and was like, yo, football. I was like, what's good with T-Mac? Like, is he still not top 20? He's like, yeah, I was doing dope that day.
I was mad. That boy was mad. They don't call that man Scary Terry for nothing.
Man, yeah, I don't know what made me say that day. I've always known about McLaurin. I'm like, I know about him because of you. Like, why would you just turned on bro for what? What did you do, bro, like that? But yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels played a solid game. It's just, like I said, the fumbles, they couldn't overcome that. The first fumble didn't really hurt them as bad because they ended up, making the game close. But that second and third fumble, like I said, those really broke the game open. And then Saquon, it seemed like once that calf had got warmed back up, he just started being, being Saquon this season. And when you think about the Eagles' offensive line, and you think of how good their offensive line was, I think Pro Football Focus ranked them second before the season, and they actually played like that this season. And you consider that Saquon was putting up 1,300 yards with a bad offensive line in New York. So it's like, yeah, what we should have expected this, So, and it seems like every time he gets to that linebacker level, we're expecting him to take it all the way. Similar to what Derrick Henry did. Derrick Henry had a good offensive line, with Baltimore as well. And it's like every time he got to that line, that second level, you held your breath because it's like if he break a tackle, he going 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I love the fact that this season, that those two running backs, it felt like they brought the running game back to the NFL. So, yeah, I enjoyed how the Eagles play. They play that run first offense. They don't put too much pressure on the quarterback, because he's not the best thrower of the football or passer, the most accurate guy, but he doesn't necessarily need to be all the time because of what they've been able to build around him He as long as he plays mistake-free football, they will
You look at the
win.
last time they went to the Super Bowl, DeAndre Swift was having the same type of season Saquon is. Not as good because Saquon obviously damn near ran for 2,000, but if I'm not mistaken, DeAndre Swift had like 1,400 yards, damn near
Yeah, yeah,
1,500 yards.
he had a ton of yards. He had a ton
Yeah.
of yards. So Kansas City, Buffalo.
Oh man,
I'm gonna say this: the people complaining about the refereeing, I'm convinced they didn't watch the game because the refereeing was not awful. Actually, I didn't think the refereeing was bad at all.
I didn't either. Not in this game.
Yeah, and not saying that Kansas City doesn't get favorable calls certain games, but like it's gotten to the point where where social media is fishing for things at this point. Like they're literally, I think Famous Los or something like that. I didn't even know he did football until this game. Like I never seen him post him, and he's like, "This ain't an offsides." Talking about when Chris Jones jumped the snap, and I'm like, "No, that's not offsides. It's never been offsides." Like I don't know, like he jumped the snap count perfectly. Why did you think that was offsides? Now you making me believe. I don't like telling people they should stay in their lane because I'm definitely more of an NBA guy than an NFL guy. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, but I'm like, bro, you look really bad with this play. Like there was other plays that you probably could have pulled.
No. Yeah.
This ain't the one you should die. This ain't the hill you should die on. So I'm tired of the people like boosting this Kansas City ref and the NFL script. Because I mean, I don't know, why would 31 other owners let one guy get to the Super Bowl every year and make all the money? I don't know why the 31 owners would do that, but it is what it is. So but I just want to get that out of the way because the game was a great game. And there was no egregious calls. Actually, there was one call. There was a pass interference called. It ended up getting called back because Hollins, I think his name is, ended up catching the ball, which that was probably Josh Allen's best throw of the season. Like, I mean, it landed perfectly in bro's hand, like, and stuck there. Like, that was his best throw of the season. And they called a pass interference, which I didn't agree with because Hollins actually reached back to make the contact, and then McDuffie grabbed his arm, which I guess technically that is pass interference. But generally speaking, they let the corner or the defensive back touch or push you back if the wide receiver initiates the contact. So if it would, I mean, the penalty ended up being unnecessary or whatever. But yeah, like the game was a great game. Buffalo won the turnover battle. Patrick Mahomes was the one who committed the turnover. He fumbled the ball. And Chris Jones, playoff Chris, like they tried the tush push and he eliminated it every time. Timed the snap perfectly, blew it up every time. I don't like he didn't make the tackles on these plays, but I'm like seeing, and that's another thing about Famous Los. He said 95. He ain't say boy man. He ain't say Jones. He ain't say Chris. He said 95. That's how I know you don't know about football. But anyways, so this is the best defensive tackle in football. You don't know his name. But anyway, so like the dude makes a play no matter what in the clutches of moments. Kansas City, don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes played fantastic in a lot of these spots too. But Kansas City owes, if they win the three-peat, I'm 100% sure it's because Chris Jones made a great play because he's done it every Super Bowl they won. Like the dude is incredible, at least in our era. Other than, I shouldn't say our era because King Shawn, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you go back to Warren Sapp. But Chris Jones got to be one of the 5 best interior linemen in our generation, or at least in the last 15 years. So
just three I can name off the top of my head. Like you said, Warren Sapp, Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, and then I'd probably say J.J. Watt, number 4. Like that's probably 4 I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's just like I gotta get, I love defense. I love defensive players. I just want to give them a shout. Patrick Mahomes made every play when they needed a play. Like to be on I think it was 4th down and you throw a 30-yard bomb to Juju Smith. Like the dude, everybody else plays it safe except Mahomes and Andy Reid doesn't tell McNabb to make that play. I promise you he doesn't. So and that was the best quarterback he coached other than Patrick Mahomes. So the game was, I loved the game. I loved how Patrick Mahomes played because to be honest, during the regular season, he didn't really play very well. I think my last ranking of quarterbacks, he was towards the middle of the pack, in my opinion. So he didn't really play that well. The wide receivers and stuff like that. Xavier Worthy won me some money, scored a touchdown. I was rooting for the 3-peat. Y'all already know who I'm just based off of that. Y'all already know who I'm going to go with my Super Bowl prediction. But King Shawn, I want to start with you. What did you think about the game? And actually, after we get through this, I want us to talk about the catch, the interception, simultaneous catch thing. I want us to get into that as well because that's been the biggest thing on social media so far. But King Shawn, what did you think about the game overall?
First thing I'm gonna just say is if it's a 1-score game, you can bet your bottom dollar Patty Mahomes gonna win that shit.
I think he's 17-0 in one possession games since going back to last year.
I didn't even know. That's wild. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, that game made him 17-0 in one possession game since last season.
Possession game, yeah. You can bet your bottom dollar that motherfucker gonna win that game. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I don't think there was poorly officiated at all. I agree with you on that. I just thought it was a good game. If I'm being honest, I feel like this was a better game for Josh Allen that he played. I feel like he played this game better than he played last week.
He played way better than he did against Baltimore.
100%. And I don't know, bro. Like everybody's saying, Josh Allen had a lack of talent. I feel like he's got great weapons out there, and Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper. Even though a lot of people don't think of Amari Cooper still being that same person, but when he needs to make a catch, Amari Cooper making a fucking catch.
Yeah.
And James Cook is a damn good running back. If they ran him more, he'd probably be a 1,400-yard running back. If we're being honest.
Sweet. Hold on before you continue. Zero last week shouted you on the podcast and wanted to tell it to your face because I didn't remember this, but he reminded me that we were doing a Rookie of the Year prediction and you were the only person talking about Cook. And we were and I think, I didn't really know about him, but he was like, I don't know about that. And I think he led the league in touchdowns this year. That's with Josh Allen taking touchdowns from him, by the way. So, shout to you for that because I didn't know who he was, and you were the only person talking about him on this podcast.
They got to run him more, man. They got to run him more. But I thought it was a great game, man. I don't know if you want to lead into the catch interception shit or not, but
no, I want Zero to go first,
yeah.
And then we'll go into actually both of them, that and the Kincaid drop. Zero, what did you think about the game overall?
Kincaid drop, all I'm gonna say is y'all was clowning Mark Andrews last week.
I hate this dude, man. This dude is enjoying this too much.
Kincaid drop was good and terrible.
The thing hit him in his bicep, man. Come on now. And he had to change directions.
He definitely had to change directions.
Zero, what do you think about
if he would have caught that ball, everybody would have swore it was Josh Allen.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They would have gave all the credit to Josh Allen.
I'd have been like, call him sports science. What's the percentage on that catch right there?
Yo, when speaking of sports science, when ESPN ended up signing up sports science, you would never saw them again. It was like, we're the only ones that do sports. It was like, get your asses off Discovery Channel. What's it called? Of course, that was the better of the two games. Yeah, Mahomes. Mahomes just too good. Kareem Hunt has scored a touchdown in every single playoff game he's been with the Chiefs.
Yeah, he won me some money too.
the yeah, I Buffalo played a spirited game. I mean, Mac Hollins got what, two?
Yeah, he was looking like Gabe Davis out there.
Yeah.
Like, who is this guy getting all these touchdowns?
Touchdowns when he was in Atlanta. He was making some crazy catches too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, what's it called? Chris Jones. The fact that famous Los don't know who this dude is, like, famous Los don't even need to do any more basketball content. That's how, like, that's just me.
Damn.
You don't know
He
Chris
said
Jones'
football
name. You
thing was
shouldn't
so
even go
bad.
back to
Don't do
basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, it's like don't do basketball again. It's like carry your ass elsewhere. But that was a great game. Let's watch that from start to finish. I actually missed the first quarter of the Eagles game, but yeah, that game was really great.
I
But
started the Eagles game literally right after Saquon scored the 60-yard touchdown because
I know, right?
I was in the middle of cooking. So yeah, I was pissed.
But yeah, that was a great game to watch. And the fact that Mahomes said, "I'm sorry it had to be us." If I was Josh Allen, I would have spit in his face. But that's my take on that.
Mm. You know, before we get into the other stuff, actually, no, I'll get into it after. So the simultaneous catch, I've been seeing people talk about that a lot. And I'm like, it's never gone to the defense.
No.
I don't know. I'm like, this is why I know these people just react to stuff. They don't watch football. And I'm the first to admit, of the three of us on this podcast, I personally watch the least amount of football. I don't know. I can't speak on Zero, but in my opinion, King Shawn likely watches the most football out of all of us. So based off of that, and that's why I love having King Shawn, even though we've had our debates on football many times on this podcast. I love having him on, especially for the football stuff specifically, because whether we agree or disagree, he's not regurgitating the social media stuff like so many other people do. So that's why I love having his takes when we do the NFL stuff. But when it comes to like watching the game and understanding the game and knowing some of the rules of the game, it's like y'all are speaking on this now. Initially, when the DB, I don't know who the DB was, gets the ball, he has two hands on the ball. But when you see the replay from the front angle, Worthy's hand is in there. He gets both second hand on there. They hit the ground. The ball hits the ground. It doesn't move. Buffalo didn't even challenge if it was an interception. They challenged if it was an incomplete pass because they knew it wasn't an interception. But for some reason, social media is telling us it's an interception. I don't understand it. They're like, oh no, we just because it's better to be an incomplete pass because now it's fourth down and they don't have a first down right there. I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, and people are like, even the announcers, this is how I know y'all don't follow football, because y'all said even the announcers. You didn't say Tony or whatever. Like, see, same thing. Because Tony Romo was the one who said it. Tony was the one who said it. And you're like, even Romo, like, first, we shouldn't act like Tony Romo really knows football like that. The outside that one season where he was predicting the most basic stuff because Cam Newton pointed it out, He's like, yeah, of course he predicted the run going that way because it's a numbers game. There's 8 guys on that side. They got 6 guys on that side. When he says they're going to run left, yeah, where else they going to run?
Yo, chill, yeah. Cam Newton definitely made it seem like he don't know.
Cam was like, he is not that deep. And also,
simple.
there was rumors saying CBS was actually going to give him a pay cut because he wasn't studying enough film. So it's like, no, let's not act like Tony Romo's football knowledge is that incredible. It's not. I'm so glad he's not doing the Super Bowl this year because I actually like Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's analysis has been fantastic.
Tom Brady, but I think it's his too. Like I like hearing Tom talk about.
Yeah. So now he's probably not going to be as good because of the whole. Now that he's an owner, he can't study film and stuff apparently, which is stupid to me because it's like why can't the owner study? Is that been a thing that the owners can't watch film? But maybe it's different because he's a player. He knows more what he's watching. But anyways, like I don't understand why this thing has become a thing when it comes to the simultaneous catch. Because it's like the defensive back, like I said, when you look at it from the TV angle, the original angle, he does get 2 hands on the ball. But when they both come down to it, there's 4 hands on the ball. So it's like that's possession offense. Is it really just as simple as everybody on social media is stupid?
I think it is, to be honest, or not knowing the rule or ignorant to the rule. Let's not use the word. Ignorant to the fucking rules. Like I truly feel like people need to just like know certain rules, man. Like it's just simple as black and white. Like you just got to know the rules, man. Like I don't speak on other sports. I don't speak on other sports if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
but that's the problem. Social media has given a voice to people who don't need one in the first place. So it's like the only thing social media is doing is going off of the narrative that here we go, the Chiefs, like because all year they've been saying the Chiefs have been getting call after call after call after call. This is nothing different, so they're just regurgitating what has been said the entire regular season. They don't have a brain. These scarecrow ass niggas. Like we already know how this goes.
Definitely think the Chiefs have gotten some calls this year.
Yeah.
But the calls that annoy me the most is I don't like because I've played the Chiefs and it's not really like the calls that I guess everybody else is more so complaining about. But other than the fucking what is it the one with the right tackle when he's jumping early as hell.
Oh yeah, I mean
Juwan Johnson.
Like so early, yeah.
Like that's the one that's the one that irks my soul, especially because if I'm not mistaken, we were the most penalized team in the league this year. And really? That was
you were.
And that was one of those things that
Cowherd said that. No, it wasn't Cowherd. It's this gambling podcast I watch. They do like a luck ranking, and they said that Baltimore had the worst penalty luck. Like most teams get away with certain penalties, and Baltimore wasn't all season. That's actually true.
They don't even call roughing the quarterback for homer. They don't even call roughing the passer for my quarterback, bro. Like they don't even call for 2-time MVP. Like that shit is crazy.
That's crazy. That's Cam Newton. That's Cam Newton and Michael Vick. How they used to get flung around and they wouldn't get an ever call. But Josh Allen, who plays just like Cam Newton did, he has the most roughing and passing penalties in NFL history.
Flop Allen. I call his ass Flop Allen.
Yo, bruh. But you know what? I ain't gonna get into that. Man. He's out of the playoff. Good riddance. And like I said, it's so funny because I'm actually not a Josh Allen fan. Anybody who's listened to that episode would probably think, oh, you must be a Josh Allen fan because I picked him to win MVP. No, it's just from how the trajectory of everything was. I'm like, if they play well enough with the downgrade of weapons they've had, they're gonna hand it to him. No matter what he does, all he do is make the playoffs. They're gonna, at least in my opinion. Now, Lamar Jackson had an incredible season, so that I wasn't expecting Lamar Jackson specifically as a passer to do what he did this year. So that changes the whole dynamic of everything. But in my opinion, just the way I saw them, he had downgraded weapons. They're going to be a more run-focused team. If he has a good enough season and they win, they make the playoffs, they're gonna walk him right to the MVP award. That's why this wasn't because I was a fan of his. That's the pattern that it was looking like. So I'm like, excuse me. But to the catch or the non-catch of Dalton Kincaid, everybody's saying, I heard that Buffalo fans or people like were sending Kincaid all kinds of hate mail and stuff like that. And I'm like, he probably, let's be real, as a NFL tight end, he probably should have caught the ball. But he did drop, I think, 2 passes earlier in the game, so his hands was kind of erratic anyways. But I'm like, that throw was a prayer anyways.
Oh.
Like, we gotta stop they were surprised. Everybody wanted to talk about the announcers. Tony Romo was surprised. Tony Romo was actually more surprised or gave more credit to Kincaid's ability to get open in that spot than the Josh Allen throw. Because they were like, we just thought he threw it up for grabs, which he kind of did.
I said he did all the defenders back there in their dog.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Kincaid even finding a spot to be able to catch the ball was good. Like I said, the way the ball, he didn't like close himself fast enough, so it kind of went through his bicep or whatever. Probably should have caught that ball, but I'm like, he was going one direction, the ball was going another direction, and he had to go back and try to turn around and catch the ball. So I'm like, that was a difficult catch to make. But it's like to be sending the guy, hate mail, death threats. I don't know if he got death threats. I heard Mark Andrews got death threats. But first of all, I don't know what's wrong with y'all people sending people death threats just for not catching a ball. How much money did y'all have on that game for real? Because that's the only reason why I could think I would want to kill somebody if I lost my house over because no other way. No, like if I just bet my house, literally all the equity on my house on this game and I lost. Like I can understand that, but like because you're a fan, that's weird.
If you bet your house on this game, there's a hotline that you can call.
That's the name of the podcast. There's a hotline.
Because that's hotline worthy.
I'll tell you right now, I know what make a motherfucker want to kill some of these people or send them a death threat. I ain't even gonna send nobody a death threat because I feel like you got to be sick in the mind. Like, but as far as like wanting to like physically hurt somebody,
I get it. No, I'm with you. But
and
to write
my
parlays,
bro,
or email,
yeah,
literally type it out, that's too much energy, dog.
Yeah, that's too much energy.
No, it's literally a hotline for you to call. Like, your family doesn't care about you if they agree to this shit.
Well, they usually don't. That's why they wanted to kill him. They're like, man, I gotta tell my wife about this.
It was like, God damn it.
Oh man.
It was the liquor. The liquor got into my system, and I said, damn it.
Bro, like I said, I gamble. Like I said, shout out to both teams for winning and by how much they won, because that came through for me, even though they both pissed me off because they both went over. They both went way over their total, so I lost both of those bets. Yeah, I just don't get like why people are mad at Kincaid for not making that catch, because it was a difficult catch to make. In all honesty, when you look at it, the Mark Andrews catch was an easier catch. So I can understand people getting upset with Mark Andrews. But then in this case, like I said, should he have caught the ball? Probably. You're an NFL tight end, but like I said, he had dropped 2 passes prior to that. So I don't know, maybe they're mad at him just not having a good catching game. Because when you drop 3 balls throughout the game, it's like, yo, like what's going on with you? Especially other than, no, he was probably the shortest hands on the team. So, so the fact that he's messing up, I can understand why people get upset about that. But I don't understand the death threat thing or the hate mail. These guys, like, everybody talks about the NFL scripts and all this other stuff. But did Did y'all look at Josh Allen after they lost that game?
Oh, he
Like,
was
does that
he
look
was
like a
sick.
guy who knows the script? Clearly, he wasn't in on the script. That, like, you see the heartache that these guys specifically in the playoffs go through.
Bro, it don't even be like I can see it in the regular season. For me, it ain't even got to be the playoffs. Like I said, like just personally, like watching my quarterback every year, like talking about he won a Super Bowl and then he's pissed off when we just lose. Like we literally beat ourselves. There is no team this year that beat the shit out of us. We beat ourselves, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like we lost
yeah,
in the regular season. We lost every game. We lost by 22 points, and that was Justin Tucker's missed field goals was equal to 22 points in my mind. Like we literally beat
yeah.
ourselves the whole year.
That Raiders game, y'all beat the hell out of yourselves.
Bruh.
That was the one for me. Like, what? I watched that game. I was like, what's happening?
I gave up on the season after that. I was betting against us after that. I swear to God, I was ready for the off season. I'm not lying to you. I was like, get this shit the fuck up out of here. Get this product off the field. Our defense was ass, everything. Like I was over that shit, bro.
Bruh. Yeah. But shout to, like I said, it's a very interesting thing. But let's go to the Super Bowl predictions. I mean, y'all know, like I said, Kansas City. I've been rooting for history all year. I've been rooting for the three-peat. I haven't seen one since the Kobe dynasty. So the Kobe Shaq dynasty. I would love to be in my lifetime seeing the only three-peat in NFL history, or the first three-peat in NFL history. I've seen three-peats in my life, both Jordan ones and the Shaq Kobe one. And I would love to see this one in the NFL. So I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs for no other reason. Do I think they're a more talented team than the Eagles? Absolutely not. Do I think they're a better team than the Eagles? Absolutely not. Do I think the coaching disparity is that great that the Eagles should not win this Super Bowl? Absolutely not. I am only rooting for Kansas City for the legacy, for the history of the game. I even rooted for the Patriots on the 17-0 board or the 18-0 board because I wanted to see history. I'm not a hater like that. If his name is not Aaron Rodgers, I really don't hate you that much. I might hate you, but I don't hate you that much. Huh?
Fuck that nigga, man.
I told you about front runner Rodgers. That joke was so funny when you
I picked
that
him,
group chat.
bro. I picked that motherfucker to win the division, bro. I picked that motherfucker to win the division at the beginning. Everybody, let me just say this too, because like a lot of like I gotta say this, like, and I'm not no Josh Allen hater. The only reason why I'm ever going to be a Josh Allen hater is because he got drafted in the same class as Lamar, just like I was with Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan. That's the only reason why. They always going to be compared to each other, always.
Yeah.
So everybody expected the Bills to have like a bad season or not a good season because of like basically the team, what they lost, and Stephon Diggs, Davis, everything that they lost on their roster. But at the same time, with that being said, nobody expected. I mean, I probably other than you, because you are the only person that I know that did not expect this to be on your. Nobody expected the Jets or Miami to be as bad as they were this year. I'm just being honest. Like I feel like he got
Miami. No, the Jets definitely more so than Miami.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nobody expected that.
100%. But like that, like in my opinion, I'm like, yo, when you beat up on the NFC least, the fucking Patriots twice a year, the Jets twice a year, and Miami, like, come on, bro, like, come on, dog. Like, if you look at his against playoff teams, he was 2-3 this year. Josh Allen was 2-3, and the two teams that he won was the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs, which was the division winners of each conference. So everybody wanted to kiss his ass about that. 2-3, but I digress. I digress.
No, I love Aaron Rodgers for that reason. He won me some money this year.
Yeah.
He won me. Matter of fact, that was my biggest future bet was Jets under. I even said on the YouTube channel, Lando's Sports Discussion, I was like, everything that the Jets are doing on paper, there's no reason, because I think their win total was like 10.5. I said there's no reason to bet the under, but I'm betting the under because of Aaron Rodgers. They didn't even hit.
Up, dude. Hang it
Bro,
up.
they winning 4 games or 5 games, I think it was, is crazy. But anyways, 0. I know you said Philly for you. So King Shawn, what's your Super Bowl prediction?
Hey man, go get that shit, Patty. Go get that shit, Patty. And I'm doing it for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only.
What's that?
I want to see a 3-peat as well.
Yeah.
And I don't want Jalen Hurts to get a ring before Lamar. Like I said, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Hey, the hate is real. You like, look, until Lamar get one, all y'all
ain't nobody else can get one but Pat. Until Lamar get one.
Yo, that's funny. That's funny.
Is Pat like in the GOAT conversation, or is he solidified number 2 if he get a 3-peat?
0. I'm gonna let you go first.
What? What he just asked?
Yeah.
Look. No.
Mm.
You want to know why?
Mm.
Because y'all niggas keep on sleeping on Joe Montana. I'm getting sick and tired of that shit.
Hey, look, I am never sleeping on Joe at all. At all. I look like Joe Montana was once my favorite quarterback of all time. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, really?
But, yes.
Wow.
But Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Like, we're not gonna disrespect Tom Brady. I feel like
No, I'm not disrespecting Tom.
I think that's
Tom's
just
always going to be number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1.
But
for Pat to get 4 in 7 years and then a 3-peat, Tom ain't never did that. Tom ain't never did that.
Joe ain't never do that.
Joe ain't never did that.
Look, with Joe undefeated in that too.
Yeah, Joe had Jerry for 3 of them.
But look, Pat lost to the GOAT though. Pat lost to the GOAT.
His only loss is to the GOAT.
Only lost to the GOAT.
Yeah, and you want to know
off of the worst pass interference. Oh no. That was when they went to the A's. That was when they lost the AFC Championship. No, it literally took them losing 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen. Look, they had no line going into that Super Bowl, which is crazy.
Look, I get it. You said Mahomes lost to the GOAT, but what's his name?
I'm not saying
Joe Montana was the GOAT when he was winning his.
He definitely was.
So I'm just saying. He like Mahomes. Actually, you know what? I might just have Mahomes number 2 because of history. Just because of history.
So
if he wins his 3rd in a row, just because of history, I would have to put Mahomes 2, and Joe Montana's gonna have to drop.
So I'm gonna start with this because I was watching Nightcap, and there was something I was like, Shannon Sharp is such a hypocrite because he had mentioned they mentioned the same thing, and then he says, "Well, you can't put him over Tom because Tom has 7." He was like, he pretty much said like Mahomes got a 4-peat if you're gonna put him past Tom, which I'm like, well, Tom nor Joe had a 3-peat, so I don't know why he has to do a 4-peat in order to pass Tom. But and the reason why I say he's a hypocrite is because he don't count rings when it comes to LeBron, but he count rings when it comes to Mahomes. But anyways, I'm not saying I don't just keep that same energy. That's my thing. So with that being said, a 3-peat in the NFL.
I love Tom. In my opinion, if Pat get 2 more, like he probably pushing Tom for that GOAT spot. Like
yeah, no, and I'm not mad at that.
And
especially if he does, like if he wins 2 more.
Let's say he goes 6 and 9. Yeah, like let's say if he like he already got 4 and 7. Like if he get another 2 in the next 4 years, or 3 years. Like I gotta give it to him. Tom didn't do that. Tom, it took 20 years for him to win 7.
Yeah.
Like, and he won what, 3 in one decade and what, 4 in the other
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta give it to
He went a
Patty.
decade without winning one.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Patty. I gotta give it to Patty.
In my opinion, if Mahomes wins this one, he is my GOAT.
Okay. I'm not mad
Now,
at that.
I wouldn't argue against somebody saying Tom is the GOAT. But you know how people sit there and say LeBron's my GOAT, Kobe's my GOAT. I am going to be in the my GOAT conversation when I've never done it. I've never done it. I'm just like, there's the GOAT. But no, I'm lying because Barry Bonds is my GOAT in baseball. But yes, the Mahomes will be my second, my personal GOAT. If he gets the three-peat, you got to think the three-peat, if he wins this year, it's with a bevy of 2s and 3s at wide receiver and a tight end who trying to podcast and hump Taylor Swift more than play football. I'm not saying that's legitimate. I'm just saying, like, bro, Kelsey's been nothing this season. And that's been his guy.
The last 2 seasons.
Yeah, like you really, like, halfway through last season and all of this season, he's been like non-existent virtually. Like, he's retired at this point. He's only there to get the 3. If they would have lost last year, he would have retired last
year. I agree with
that. So, yeah, I'm not. If he could do that, especially against this specific Philadelphia Eagles team, that's actually better than the team they beat a couple years ago, and they probably should have lost that game a couple years ago. If he could beat this Philadelphia Eagles team for the 3-peat, bruh, you can't have it no other way, in my opinion, for the GOAT. Because if you project his career out, no injuries or anything like that, he's gonna pass. He's gonna be up there statistically with all the GOATs. I mean, I don't know if he passes Tom Brady because he's not. He's actually tailed down with his stats, like his yards and stuff, versus like when he first started, he was throwing for 40, 50 touchdowns every year. He ain't doing that anymore. But if he can do that with these weapons that he has around him, and 3-peat, because Tom Brady in his first 3, he didn't really have the best weapons around him either. But if he could get that 3-peat, I'm putting him in my personal. If I were to rank them all time, I'm putting Patrick Mahomes number 1. For that reason, the other reason is because I want a black man as the golden quarterback, even though he's half black, and also if I'm starting a franchise, I'm probably going with Mahomes. The guy who can, he's not fast or anything like that, but the guy who can move out the pocket, make plays on the run, Tom Brady can't do all that. At least like when you talk about like the Jordan LeBron debate, like there's the sense like, okay, LeBron's a better passer, better rebounder, but nobody says like Jordan couldn't pass or wasn't a good passer and wasn't a good rebounder for his position as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, is LeBron better at those 2 particular things? 100%. But like, Tom Brady can't do a lot of what Mahomes can do. Like, physically could not do it. That's not the case in the Jordan-LeBron debate. They both are capable of doing what each other did. So it's like, at least you can have that. Like, we don't have that debate when it comes to Mahomes and Tom Brady. So yeah, no, I'm those are my 3 biggest reasons why I would say that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the greatest quarterback I've seen, and I've watched Tom Brady's career, Peyton Manning's career, Drew Brees is still going to be my favorite quarterback of all time. I watched Drew Brees' career, so I'm like,
I can appreciate greatness, but I'm at the age now. I appreciate everybody that I be watching.
Oh yeah. I'll still now. If you're gonna argue dope stuff with me, because I don't really get in those arguments no more. But I'll give you, like if you give me like something legitimate, like not just like pole riding or whatever. Like I'll say, okay, like I can see why you believe this guy is the greatest, whatever, or whatever it might be, or your favorite, whatever. But like if you just trying to insult the other guy that you don't rock with, like people do LeBron when it comes to Jordan, or people do to Jordan when it comes to LeBron, I'm not respecting your opinion. Like that, all you do is throwing out insults and you're saying, "Oh, Rex Chapman gave Jordan buckets." Like this ain't the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Like, but like these aren't the greatest players in the world. So it's like, yeah, like who and that's why I'm saying, like, look, Mahomes to me, and I know a lot of people, you say like Aaron Rodgers as a talent was like here. Personally speaking, even though I think he's very talented, I think there's been more talented quarterbacks than him in my personal opinion overall. So like I remember there was a quarterback coach who said Cam Newton was the most talented quarterback he'd ever seen play football, and he did a camp with Aaron Rodgers. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like just talent, and I agree with him in that position. But like just overall, like talent, skills, ability to win games is Patrick Mahomes for me. It's actually already him for me personally, like as far as what I've watched with my own eyes, but the three-peat will solidify it for me. All right, so let's get to Scottie. Speaking about LeBron and Jordan.
Before we switch this up there real quick, who y'all top 5 QBs of the season this year?
Oh, this season? I'll go first because I've done a Twitter post about it.
I ain't see your updated Emperor list yet.
No, I haven't done it. I haven't done it a couple months because when I caught pneumonia in November, I stopped the buns list. I stopped everything because, like I said, I was sick for 2 weeks, and it really took me a while to truly recover. Like it still took me, like I was literally sick for specifically 11 days. Then it took me like a week, even though we had gotten back on the podcast pretty quick. Like I couldn't, like I had a hard time breathing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was actually pretty rough. So I even like getting loud, even if I was like singing, trying to hit like certain notes, I couldn't bring my voice up, stuff like that. Like I'm not acting like I'm a great singer, but like I couldn't go a good octave at all. Like I was like my lungs was cooked. So I stopped. I was like, I'm gonna get back to it. But I was like, nah, by the time I actually felt good, it had already been like a month or 5 weeks. I was like, it's already the end of the season, no matter. So, but I would say for me, the top 5 quarterbacks, are we counting the whole totality of the season or just the regular season? Okay. So this season specifically, 1, Lamar Jackson, 2, Josh Allen, 3, Joe Burrow, 4, Jaden Daniels, 5, I would say, oh man, 5, I would probably, 5 is tough. 5 is tough because I don't think Mahomes played top 5 football this year. So maybe if you take away the 5 interception game, Golf.
Okay.
If you take that away, the 5 interception game, then I would say
that shit was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, but Golf is definitely in my top 5. Golf is definitely in my top 5. I didn't have Jaden Daniels up there, but I'm not mad at Jaden Daniels up there. If I was going to switch anybody, I'd probably switch Pat for Jaden Daniels, but I'm not mad at Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and I'm just because of how the season went. And Jane Daniels didn't necessarily have like statistically the greatest season, but just from me being able to watch a lot of Washington games because of where we live and being able to see him, I'm probably a little bit more biased. But yeah, and then also when I watched Bo Nix, I know he had like more touchdowns than Jane Daniels, a couple more touchdowns than Jane Daniels. To be honest, one, I gotta apologize about Sean Payton because I didn't think he was a good coach. I think he did coach him up because Bo Nix gives me a lot of Will Levis vibes, like as a talent. So the fact that he was able to make Will Levis light 2.0 look good, I think that's probably one of the best coaching jobs this season. But I don't think that he's a good quarterback though, even though he had a good season. But I think that Jaden Daniels though, there was times where he really picked his team up, and I didn't necessarily see that with Bo Nix. So that's why I put Jaden Daniels in that top 5. To be honest, as far as how they played this season, it makes me sick to my stomach to admit this, but you could say Baker Mayfield could play some top 5 football this year.
I agree with that too.
That's disgusting. I can't believe I just said that. That's disgusting. Who's your top 5?
I'd say you hit everybody that I was going to hit, obviously, like I said, other than
Mahomes
and Jaden Daniels. I probably would put Mahomes where you had Jaden Daniels at 4. I would switch Josh Allen and Joe Burrow out. But that's probably just like I'm biased to Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow also led the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Like I love watching Joe fucking Burrow play, bro. Like I don't care. Like I don't care what no AFC North fan, Ravens fan has to say. Like I love watching Joe Burrow play. He is a fucking dog. A fucking dog. A fucking dog. A fucking dog. Don't get me wrong. As much as I love Joe Burrow or Pat Mahomes, like I wouldn't trade him in the world for Lamar because I have Lamar, obviously. But my God, do I love watching Joe Burrow fucking play?
That dude was incredible this year. Like that defense ruined everything. That dude was so incredible this year.
They ruined some stuff, but I feel like early in the season, I felt like he was. I don't want to say he threw games, but like basically he was turning the ball over when like it mattered. Like when the defense couldn't get a stop and they had to go down there and score, like he was turning the ball over. And I know that for sure in 2 games against us, he did that.
Yeah, and I would say the one of the games that he lost or that they lost, which actually kind of funny because if they would have won that game like they should have, they would have made the playoffs against New England. And I did on the Buns list where all the white guys messed up, like fumbles in the red zone, muffing a punt, like that killed them. So it's just like shoot, like that's tough. I would like to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs, and hopefully, because he's had injury history, so hopefully next season he can be healthy enough to so we can actually get these the four horsemen of quarterbacks in the playoffs next year.
I'm good on that. We can have Joe Burrow sitting at home again. If I'm being honest with you, that's the team that I did not want to play again in the playoffs was the Cincinnati Bengals. I feared them more than I feared any team in the playoffs was the Cincinnati Bengals, if I'm being honest. We played them twice this year in both games, if I'm not mistaken, with the overtime, and both teams scored over 38 points in both games.
Yeah, that first one was ridiculous. That first game I watched was absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, this is unbelievable. That's when I realized the Ravens defense was bad though.
Same. I was like, yeah, nah, we not allowed. Because it's crazy. The week prior, I was like, yo, like Jamar Chase has never torched us. I said that literally, like the only time he's ever torched us was the first game he ever played against us as a rookie. He fucking went for like I think it was like 4 catches for 244 and like 2 touchdowns. And since then, he been on hush. But I said that, and the next week, 200 yards again. Then played us again, 200 yards again. I'm like, bruh, I'm done with this shit.
That dude was unbelievable this season too.
Yes,
that's crazy. Zero top 5 this season.
Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Goff, Mayfield.
Oh God,
I like it. I ain't mad at that.
You about to piss me off. Mayfield. Like I said, even though I just admitted that you could probably put him top 5, that still is disgusting to me. I'd rather put Matt Stafford in top 5. And he definitely didn't play top 5 football. Well, what about Darnold? Darnold get an honorable mention?
Darnold could definitely get an honorable mention. He
Not
can
top
definitely
5.
get a. If
Nah,
Darnold didn't
top 5.
play, like, you know what's crazy? I don't think Darnold played as bad as everybody thinks that he played for them to lose. I guess like the last 2 games, the playoff game and the game against the Lions, the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Like I felt like it was more so on their defense than it was them in the turnovers. But
Mm-hmm.
but I also feel like that first play or that play where they played against the Rams when they called that shit like a forward pass when Matt Stafford fumbled. That was cheating, bro. That was a
Yeah, that
fumble in my
was.
opinion.
Look,
I don't
that
care what
was
nobody
fun.
fucking say. That
I
was a
ain't never
fumble.
seen nobody flick the ball like
Nah,
this again.
nah. I was
That
like,
was
what?
ridiculous, man.
I said that
That
was
was
crazy.
ridiculous. I
I
was
think
like,
that
that's
just set the tone.
that was worse than any Patrick Mahomes call. That
For the night, I was
was
like,
on some tough rule stuff, boy. But yeah, all right. So Scottie Pippen goes on the PBD Patrick Bet David podcast, and they're having conversations about Jordan, and he says a lot of outlandish things. So just to name a few of them, he said that he had a better career than LeBron. Or I don't think he said a better career than LeBron, but it was something of that effect. He also said that he played basketball the right way, so that's why he should be in the GOAT conversation, whatever that means, playing basketball the right way. He said that Jordan nor LeBron was the GOAT, that Magic Johnson is the GOAT because of how he was able to bring a team together and lead them like he's never seen before. And he said that pretty much LeBron's career is just stats. And he said, if you want to compare him to LeBron, do you want stats or do you want rings? And Carmelo Anthony said he got to stop. Draymond Green said he got to stop. B. Diddy, Baron Davis mentioned like he just want to have lunch with Jordan, like because they was like, hey, have you ever sat down and had dinner with Jordan? And Scottie Pippen said that him and Jordan never had sat down and had dinner. I kind of find that hard to believe, but I also kind of find that it's weird because I could believe it though, just because of how Scott. But I was like, but Jordan had been friends with his teammates, so like he considered Charles Oakley like his best friend or whatever. So I don't see why he would have never. And every time you see Michael Jordan and he talks about his NBA career, he gives Scottie Pippen a lot of credit. Like he's like, I don't have 6 rings with. He don't even say he don't have 6 rings without Phil. He says he don't have 6 rings without Scottie. And the fact that Jordan always says nothing but positive things about Scottie, outside of that little take when it came to the Last Dance, which I don't even remember if Jordan specifically said anything or if he was just mad that it was in the documentary. I think he said like he was disappointed in Scottie for that or something like that, which everybody was. It's not news. So I don't know what Scottie's mission is, if it's just to sell a book, so he's just out here saying outlandish stuff. But the great American philosopher King Shawn was said, man, I was smoking dope. And I feel like that's what Scottie has been doing. I don't even remember why you said that day. It was some take that you
had. Garages or something.
Yeah. I was like, that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to Scottie Pippen, because he's never mentioned Magic Johnson as the GOAT until that podcast. And he's been talking, people have asked him the GOAT conversation stuff, specifically with LeBron and Jordan. for many years. And he's, for the most part, said Jordan. Sometimes he's gone LeBron. But now Magic out of left field? What's happening right now? Zero, what's happening with Scottie Pippen right now? Because Larson's gone. So we can't blame it on her no more.
No, but for real, like real quick before you go, I gotta know, like I gotta know, like I really gotta know, like how good was that coochie for real, like, because I feel like he been tweaking ever since, like, oh man, that boy tweaking like Jello new song.
Bruh.
Oh my god, yeah, go ahead Zero, but yeah, I don't know.
You know what?
Give me the dramatic pauses.
I'm just so tired of this guy. It's ridiculous. I'm just so tired. This dude be saying anything. Yeah,
Anything.
I think he is on drugs. I think he's looking for a fix. Well, I think so. It's like he's sucking dick for truck fit. Like this. It's like what did Magic's son promise you?
What? Oh, snap.
Yo,
Hey, yo.
What did Magic's son promise you?
Something that came out of left field. Magic coming out of left field is crazy.
Yo, he's not.
Magic's son? That's nasty.
Yo, Magic son, yo, he must have pictures. Gotta have pictures. Cause
Yeah.
ain't no way on God's green earth you come out your mouth talking about it's like would you like do you want individual accolades or you want championships? Like he's the catalyst for championships. I was like, remember when you went to Portland?
He
Oh, you
did
see
say
how
he
that
would have
ended.
won 6 championships without Jordan.
He's a, when you went to Portland, we saw what happened then. Oh yeah, when you went to Houston, he's like, when he got Barkley, he was like, Barkley did all this because I know he's serious about winning a championship. What for you? But with you, like, come on, yo. You went from finally being the man of your team to sitting out on the sideline because you didn't get a play call for yourself, calling Phil Jackson racist to now the Bulls because
Oh,
barely
yeah.
gonna
I
make the
forgot about
playoffs.
that.
Yeah, then the Bulls weren't gonna make the playoffs, and this nigga wearing Jordan's shoe, pointing at his foot, asking him to come back to the league. You a bitch made fool ass punk for real.
Yo, for real, though, like wearing bro's shoes and telling him to come back where you felt like you would have won without him is nasty work.
Nasty work. It's like the way, nah, see, and yeah, and the way he was doing the whole finger thing, nah, that's why he said Magic Johnson is the GOAT, because that's exactly what Magic Son was doing to him.
Why is Magic Johnson sucking this slander right
No, he's getting the
now?
slander because the fact that Magic popped up because Magic
Bruh,
entered the chat,
out of nowhere, man.
that Magic entered the chat,
RKO out of nowhere.
yo, out of nowhere. Like Magic entered the chat because his son was like, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna push some books for you as long as you do something for me."
Scottie Pippen's best season.
Was the 93-94 season, I bet.
90.
95.
No, I would
Yeah,
say
he was averaging
94,
like 22
95.
points.
Average 21.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, these two seasons when Jordan wasn't there. I guess I can combine them because the numbers are very similar. He averaged about 22 points, almost 3 steals, around 5 rebounds or 5 assists, and around 8 rebounds. I think LeBron averaged somewhere around that as a rookie, outside the steals.
Let me just say, that man ain't never had a scoring champion, never a defensive player of the year, never
He was
a
second in
rebound
Defensive
leader.
Player of the Year voting twice.
Wait,
Never
who,
had a
who finished
defensive player
first?
of the year.
Who finished first in the
And he was top 5 one, two, three, four, 5 times. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? He was a great defensive player. He's probably the best defensive small forward of all time.
I'm not sitting here saying that he wasn't, but like the individual, he won an MVP, a scoring champion, like none of these things.
Said LeBron got accolades and championships, and he acting like LeBron ain't got a fucking ring to call his own. It's like, you see,
Yeah, that was the weird thing. He's like, would you rather have rings or championships? And don't get me wrong, like, you know, LeBron probably should have maybe one, possibly two more rings than he does have.
Yeah.
The Mavericks one, you could say that series they should have won, and they probably, maybe because of the injuries, they probably would have beat the Warriors the first time. So but let's say the 3-1 they probably should have lost. So that Chris Carter, that new math. He probably should be at least 5-5 in the finals from the 10 finals appearances he's been to. But like, I don't understand why this dude said that. Like, LeBron doesn't have what, as far as a superstar player is concerned, he probably has what, the third most rings.
Yeah,
superstar players, because who would be over him? Bill Russell, Jordan. I guess, well, Tim Duncan would be over him. So Tim Duncan, Kobe. So he'd be about fourth for superstars that got rings. So it's like, yeah, nah, I don't see why you got. I mean, 2 more titles is definitely significantly, harder.
If I'm not mistaken, I could probably Google it in a second. I don't feel like doing it, honestly. If I'm not mistaken, LeBron is second to only Jordan in like finals and final MVPs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's got, and you never won a finals MVP. You've never been considered for a finals MVP. Every time the team needed a bucket, they went to Jordan. They never went to you. You sat out for migraines.
He sat out. He made a bitch made decision twice in his career, because the one time when he didn't go on to take the shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then before Jordan's final year as a Bull, when he got surgery when the season started, because he wanted to enjoy his summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's like, this is who I want on my team?
Well, and then especially now I've heard migraines could be very severe, but when he sat out that Game 7 for the migraines and they lost to the Pistons, and to be honest, that probably saved Jordan's legacy, a lot of Jordan's legacy, because they probably don't win against the Lakers that year. I think it was the Lakers they played that year. But like, the Pistons, anyways. No, actually, they played evenly. I think the Pistons swept the Lakers. They probably don't sweep the Lakers, but they probably beat them. But let's say they lose to the Lakers, Jordan's like 6-1 in the finals instead of 6-0. So, but you sat out for virtually a headache, and then when you hear the Jordan flu game come around, or when you hear like Jordan in his second season had an injury that could have cost him his career, and he's over here secretly playing 5-on-5 basketball. Like, it makes, when you hear those stories about Jordan, and then we see the antics that you did where you didn't necessarily put 100% into the game. Yeah, nobody's ever, even in all honesty, like, even when you think of like him as a small forward, like, don't get me wrong, he's an excellent defensive player. But do you think of, like, is he a top 5 small forward all time? It's hard to argue that he's not. But if you think about it, are you giving him top 5 small forward accolades because of his game or because of his rings? Me personally, it's because of his rings. Because it's like, Elgin Baylor was a better player. You can argue Grant Hill, because he says that Grant Hill, or he's the mold that LeBron is copying. No, I would say LeBron as far as if you're going to say a small forward who can dribble, pass, shoot, play solid defense, I would say Grant Hill. He's probably more a better version of Grant Hill than a better version of Scottie Pippen. Because I think, personally speaking, Grant Hill was a better player, like a better
power forward or small
player.
forward?
Who? Say that you said Giannis?
Power forward or small forward?
Power forward. I think when he got into the league, he was considered a small forward, but I think prime Giannis is a power forward. Prime Giannis is definitely a power forward.
So top four for me for small forward, for me, LeBron, KD, interchangeable, but I'll probably say Larry Bird, Carmelo Anthony, 4, and maybe Scotty. I feel like if I really like did some research, I feel like I could find another one over Scotty. In my opinion,
like because you got to think about like guys like who was leading teams. Like I said, the guys like Elgin Baylor, the guy looks like Dominique Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? The guys like Melo, the guys like you know what I'm saying. Like you could, like I said, you would only if you just talked about like guys and how they played the game. You wouldn't put like you just took away if you stripped them because he's talking about accolades and stuff like that. If you strip them of all accolades, all championships, Scottie Pippen's not coming up. You see what I'm saying? And he was a great player. He's just not coming up. You know, so it's just like, nah, like we can't put you, you know what I'm saying? Because he's arguing that he's the best small forward of all time. Like, you didn't even do what Larry did as a small forward. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like, we gotta stop the nonsense.
Wasn't Dr. J a small forward too?
Yes, Dr. J is. That's what I'm saying.
Like what?
That's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't think of him. He would probably be like if you just strip all accolades away, he'd probably be closer to like 10, 9 or 10 versus 5 or 6. And he's at the bottom of most people's top 5s with the 6 rings. You know what I'm saying? Because most people would put KD over him. I think we did a list one year in the Facebook group where we had him like 4th or 5th or something like that. And some dude was arguing because we didn't have KD one spot higher or something like that. It was weird. But like, you know, yeah. But I think we had Elgin. I think the top 5 was Elgin, LeBron. I'm not naming them in any order. Elgin, LeBron, Scotty, KD, and Bird. As far as like his, like you know, as far as overall history, I think Scotty was 5th. So you see what I'm saying? Like we put him 5th because he had 6 rings. Like it wasn't because like he was this great. Like I would say Kawhi is a better player.
About to bring up Kawhi's name. I literally was about to bring it up.
You know, like Kawhi is a better player than Scottie Pippen was. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we literally seen Kawhi lift the franchise up that had nothing going on for itself really, except getting beat by LeBron. Like that's the only thing the Raptors are known for is Vince Carter's dunk contest and them losing to getting swept by LeBron every year. So like, yeah, no, like we not about to. We really don't think that much of you, Scotty. You are the greatest, second best player of all time, and it's only because Dwayne Wade wasn't the second best player to LeBron for that long.
You know, the fact that that's a title is ridiculous.
I don't think so. I think that's a good thing for his career because not everybody can be the greatest.
No, I know everybody can't be the greatest, but Jesus Christ, you are the greatest Robin of all time.
He's the Dick Grayson of Robins.
Oh, bro.
That's what his name was.
No. That's where. No, he's a dick, all right. He's taking it from.
Why?
It's the only thing. He's like, it's out of these It's like, look, it's either he's taking it or he's smoking. He's smoking a glass one for him coming up on that damn show. It's like, I've never had dinner with Michael. Do you want accolades or championships? This is a championship and accolade, you jackass.
Bruh. Yes, and I would rather have a 4-time MVP and 4-time champion than you.
I'm saying it was like, you gonna throw your back out again, even
Bruh.
though somebody blowing you.
Why? What is this? First of all, people who's listening, this this unsubstantiated claims of Scottie Pippen getting his back blown out is 100% zero. We have nothing to do with
Because
it.
if he's talking about Magic, Magic's son's giving him that magic.
What? Oh my god.
He's sprinkling glitter in his braids, huh?
I'm still curious on how did I need to know if Magic was dabbling in some booty. I wonder if he was dabbling in dung holes, man. No, man, because he got HIV, man. He ain't getting no blood transfusions, and I heard it's fairly difficult to get it from a woman. So I need to know if he got it from a dirty woman or if he was dabbling in dung, like if he was dipping his ding-a-ling in dung holes, because that's
You already know
nasty
that's
work.
happening to Scotty right now. That's why he's choosing Magic
That
Johnson as his
finishes for
dude.
that.
My man dabbling in the dark.
Oh
That
man.
5 minutes of the chocolate tunnel hole.
Anyways, this has been fun. let's, let's get to some parting shots. Actually, I'll go first. Kickshaw, you could go last, being the guest today. But my parting shot is shut the hell up, Scotty. Shut up. Stop it. Stop smoking dope, whatever you got going on. Like you need to not be in front of a mic. The saddest thing is Mike don't talk about you. Like he don't even respond to your stuff. Michael Jordan just left a court case for NASCAR revenue sharing or something like that. Like he is not worried about Scotty in the slightest. Like that's the thing that's the most embarrassing thing about it all. You had a world tour that stopped in the one place that you went to because nobody cared about you talking bad about Jordan.
That's
I mean,
why he keeps
he is
doing
a
it, because
GOAT.
that failed.
Look, I want the Mario Chalmers. I want the Mario Chalmers book on how much he hated playing with LeBron. I've been dying for that since he retired. But it's not. I'm the only guy who's gonna buy it. All right, like nobody's gonna care. Nobody cares what the two man has to say that he didn't like about the one man. LeBron is a GOAT. LeBron is a GOAT. He might not be the big GOAT. He might not be the one with the big ram horns, in my opinion, but you don't see goats by themselves. They come in herds. He's in the herd. Okay? Don't leave him alone. Look, Scotty, you're not in the herd. Leave him alone. Leave those two gentlemen. Don't talk about them no more because nobody cares. Nobody cares but you. So yeah, write your book. Talk about all the you failed racist. Michael Jordan wasn't your friend. Everybody liked playing with you. Okay, get
Talk
it
a book
out.
about your wife, about yourself. Write a book
I'm
about
saying,
that. That's
No,
what we want to hear.
bro,
Shit,
he
why you
talk
ain't
about
going that
Jordan.
game?
That's probably why she cheated on him. He probably been crying about Jordan more than he crying about her. Madness, man. That's my partner shot. Shut up, Scotty. Get out of here. Zero. What's your partner shot?
all right. So this Dank, what was it, Dank DeMoss or something? The
I don't
big
know about
girl,
that.
the fat rapper that's suing Lyft because the Lyft driver didn't want to take her to her destination. Woman, you're just as big as the Camry that pulled up. If I was the driver, I would have looked at you and pulled off. You not damaging my car. You're not blowing out my transmission. Like that. Like I'm.
Shit, y'all. Now I seen her in a Trailblazer on Twitter before we got on, and I was like, and on the trunk, she was sitting in the trunk, and I'm like, you don't even fit in the trunk of a Trailblazer.
They had to put bungee cords on the back.
I've never seen.
The
I don't
trunk.
even know. I gotta look up this person. What's her name?
I think it's Dank
Yeah,
DeMoss.
I can't even tell you, dog. Like, if I find the video, I'll send it to y'all on Twitter. But
But
I promise y'all, I just seen her sitting in the back of a damn Trailblazer.
that's hilarious.
No,
Oh,
what's it called? You see, that was supposed to fit in the back of a Camry or a Corolla. I
This
would
will
have.
be
I would have
on
drove off.
air. On air.
I'm saying this like you want to get escorted when you built like a Ford Escort. Nah, we good on that.
doesn't.
Like like here's my thing. You're gonna sue and you're gonna walk into the courtroom and the judge is gonna look and say case dismissed and then walk off the bench.
Yo, yo,
Yeah.
Kick Shawn is hilarious.
She's gonna say the judge is gonna say case dismissed. They don't even want to listen to your opening arguments. They're gonna say case dismissed, walk off the bench. It's like, did you really come to me with this farce?
I ain't
And then
fat
walk
shaming,
off.
body shaming nobody, nothing. But, like, come on now.
I
Like, you
am.
know damn well you should have got an Uber XL or something.
Exactly. You got Uber XL. This like you said she was in the back of a Trailblazer, knowing good
Yeah.
and goddamn
But
well
she
she's
he
supposed
just
to be
sent
in a
he just
Wagoneer.
sent the picture to the group chat. She literally don't fit in the back of this car.
Exactly. See, nah, you see what I'm. It's like you say she was sitting in the back of a Trailblazer where she
In
know
the
a
trunk.
Wagoneer is supposed to come pick her up.
Yeah. No, she definitely
She's
need a
supposed to be on the
wagon.
back of a
She need the
heavy duty
grand Wagoneer,
Silverado.
not the Wagoneer. She need the grand Wagoneer, the nine seat.
She get a Canyonero.
Yo, yo, she need a forklift.
Yo, when you're supposed to come with that Chevy Silverado 3500 heavy duty,
Heavy duty.
yo, I'm shaming because Shane needs to come back.
Yeah, this
Shane
is crazy.
Shane
Man.
needs to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Like fitted hats. It needs to come back because the fact of the matter is you going to sue knowing good and goddamn well that what's going to happen. It was like you ain't, and if something happens to that car, you ain't gonna pay for it. You gonna call another Corolla to come pick you up. You
She,
Yo, I'm out. That's my parting
she
shot. Stop.
probably should have called two Corollas anyway.
yo, yo, he's like, follow him just in case.
No.
You
She
should have
need
called a damn
she,
dump truck.
bruh, dump truck.
Yo, it's like if anybody hates what I'm saying, I don't give a shit. Shaming needs to come back. This is like because what's it called? The fact that there's no shame is the reason why shit like this happens. Is the reason why she has to live in a warehouse instead of a regular house because she can't fit through the front fucking door. I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. Like this is death waiting to happen.
Yes, I mean she need
But it's like she don't need to eat no more Luther burgers. She's like,
she
no,
definitely needs
she
to
needs Chipotle sandwich. No, she needs Chipotle salads. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. King
Hold the
Sean.
scoop of chicken. You don't need protein right now.
King Sean was actually protein be the one that she needs.
No, that's what it
She
is. No,
probably
she
need
needs more protein and more low carb.
King Sean, what's your party shot?
I'm gonna keep it simple, man. First off, I'm gonna say about Scotty. I'm gonna just say Scotty don't know. Scotty doesn't know. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. And then, go get that shit, Patty, man. Go get that shit, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
Go get
let's
it.
get it.
Josh, you gotta wait another year, like my boy.
Damn, I feel bad.
I'm
Oh
saying them
man,
losses about to come unlimited.
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 We,
MB3. MB3.
all right, so King Shawn, be on with us next week. We're gonna talk about the NFL awards and stuff like that. That should be, I think that's this weekend. So yeah, we'll react to that. We'll react to some of our preseason predictions on that, and whatever the else comes up. So stay tuned for next week. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Wrestling is real.
I hate this dude.